So we are going to dive right in. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tyler. This is Kristen. We are the Tigas family. And we call this presentation Health Plus Income because those are two really great benefits that we get when we choose to partner with and work together with doTERRA, the greater doTERRA family, but specifically with our team, the Living Drop Collective. So you'll see that on a lot of the things. That's our team name, the Living Drop Collective. So welcome. And we are going to just get right into it.
Like Tyler said, my name is Kristen, and I'm so excited if you're joining live or maybe watching the replay. We wanted to start off just by sharing our personal journey with doTERRA. I, out of college, began my career as a health coach at a chiropractic office, and I loved the work that I did and just found a lot of meaning in it. And it was during that journey that I learned about fragrances and how harmful they can be for our hormones. And so that's why I started using doTERRA essential oils in our home personally, and just quickly found myself starting to share it with other people. And then fast forward, when our first son was born, Elliot, it was like this light bulb went off for me. And I was like, why am I taking this small paycheck I earn, basically using most of it to pay for childcare, to be away from my son? And priorities just really shifted for me in that time. And through conversations together, we decided, well, I just need to be intentional with doTERRA, and then I can do something purposeful from home, and still get to prioritize our son. And so that was how our journey with doTERRA really started.
Yeah, I was an accountant for a real estate development company before doTERRA. I was diagnosed with a really significant autoimmune condition. So that was part of what opened our eyes to how important lifestyle is and how we can actually help support the body in healing. There's this innate power that God gave us to heal. And so we started exploring it. What does it look like to partner with the way we're designed? And that's kind of how we found doTERRA. Anyway, that was a really amazing journey. I'll share that some other time. But honestly, this business, so we started just with the products, like Kristen said, but the business side of doTERRA, sharing doTERRA with other people, growing a team, building a team to make a big impact, really opened our eyes and really allowed us to dream again in big ways and in small ways. One of the big ways is we're actually sitting right now in London, England, helping. We came here because we felt like God wanted us to come help start a new church here. And before doTERRA, I always had it in my mind that we had to either be givers or goers, meaning like we couldn't give and go, meaning like go be missional. But really, doTERRA that's one of the biggest dreams that doTERRA has allowed for us, is to be able to give and go at the same time. And so that's just one aspect that we love. And we're going to share many more as we go along. But first, what is doTERRA? So the best way that I like to think about doTERRA is as a bridge between Western medicine and holistic nature-based wellness. The word doTERRA is actually a derivative of Latin, meaning gifts of the earth. And our ultimate goal in this movement is to equip and empower, and to equip and empower a healer in every home. doTERRA exists to teach, to equip, to empower health and healing at home. So that's going to be a theme that you hear throughout this presentation. doTERRA, the doTERRA business model. So the owners of doTERRA have a ton of experience in business in different industries. And so they were really intentional about how they created the business from the beginning. So firstly, doTERRA starts at the source. So they go out into the world finding these incredible ingredients and products that nature provides from plants, and different things. And they make sure that they're the highest quality, most potent, most pure. doTERRA then manufactures these ingredients into products that we can use. They handle logistics, testing, manufacturing, inventory, shipping, all these things, right? We get to use the products share the products with other people and teach others to do the same. So we use the products, share the products, and teach others to do the same. And rather than doTERRA paying 5 to 10 to 15% of their revenue on marketing and ads and affiliates and sponsorships and all of that, doTERRA chose to pay us, everyday people, according to a brilliantly designed compensation plan, which we will also talk about in a moment. And that's the opportunity here that we're talking about. This is the vehicle, this 10% approximately of doTERRA's revenue that they choose to pay to people who are using the products, sharing the products, and teaching other people to do the same thing. And why are we talking about this now? I always feel like I'm a big context person. So I think right now is a crucial time to be considering partnering with doTERRA in a greater way. Using the products for sure, but also sharing the products. And if you want to take it beyond that, you can do that as well. But right now, at this time in history, public and national healthcare systems are rapidly declining, and trust in medical systems and in medical companies is deteriorating. The US, the cost of treatments are going up drastically, cost of insurance is going up. At the same time, quality of care is going down. Outcomes are not improving. They're becoming worse, right? And hospitals and clinics are trying to do more and more with less and less resources. And it's the same actually here in the UK, the NHS, the National Healthcare Service, it's really challenging for these systems to take care of all of the needs at an appropriate cost with good outcomes. But with doTERRA, we get to be part of the solution. We get to help our families heal beginning at home, but also we get to help equip and empower other families to be healers at home as well. From the perspective of the household budget, this kind of goes without saying, but it is really important to this conversation. We've had over the last 2 years has been the highest inflation rate in many of our lifetimes. And this vehicle that doTERRA has created is an excellent vehicle to boost that income to kind of meet those gaps, right? Many women have left the workforce over the last 4 years, specifically women have left to prioritize family, right? And whether you're currently doing well or maybe you're doing well, maybe you're struggling, but it's always a good idea to diversify income by adding an additional cash flow. Lastly, industry-wide, Verify Markets it's a company that studies different industries and trends. And they say for at least the next 3 years, doTERRA or the essential oil industry is going to continue growing at a drastic pace. And they actually mentioned doTERRA specifically as the player in that market, in that industry, that is poised for the greatest amount of growth. At the same time, the vast majority of the general adult population has never even heard of doTERRA. And no metro area in the United States has a greater than 2% saturation. Most states in the United States have less than, I think there's some that are actually at 2% now, but most of them have less than 1% household penetration. And we are partnering with doTERRA's owners and corporate and executive team right now to actually triple doTERRA's impact over the next 7 years. So for all these reasons, now is a really great time to consider partnering with doTERRA, either for the first time or to a new level. And this is the way my brain thinks about this is doTERRA is a great vehicle for health, freedom, and impact. And we're going to unpack this a little bit more as we go. We've already shared a little bit in each of these areas, but we're going to get into a little bit more detail right now. So from a customer's perspective, because we're talking about a business, right? And a business has customers. And so we want to make sure that customers really like this business. So we're going to talk about that just for the next few slides. like I said, doTERRA started with a very intentional foundation. They knew that essential oils could work, that they were powerful, but the industry at the time when doTERRA started there was such a wide range of quality. There was a lot of adulteration. There was a lot of synthetics in the industry. So doTERRA set out to build the company, the products, based on complete and absolute purity and potency with transparency. So they do so many tests on the products, on the ingredients for their products, and then they publish a lot of those test results for you and I to go and look at, which is amazing. They've also partnered with several highly reputable research institutions and hospitals as well. If you aren't familiar with doTERRA's products, they're amazing, and there's so many of them out there. We can't list all of them, but these are just a few of the categories. These are the categories of the products that doTERRA offers products in. And most of the time, doTERRA's products are safer than, the mainstream alternative. They're often cheaper, and I would say they're definitely more effective than the typical approaches that we often turn to in modern lifestyle. Also, from a customer's perspective, the rewards program is amazing. 10 to 30% back on every order. I think Target does like 1 or 2% maybe. It's the best rewards program that I've ever seen. And it's a company with a heart. Customers can feel really great about supporting the pure business practices of doTERRA. They partner with communities that source these ingredients and pay fair wages, sign long-term contracts, provide stability, help with digging wells, building schools, housing, all kinds of things in these communities. And so as a customer, from a customer's perspective, you feel really good about purchasing from a company that treats their people really well.
So really what we're talking about here is in our community and in doTERRA as a whole, we focus a lot on making ripples and making a positive impact, no matter what point of the business we're talking about. If we're talking about like the sourcing of the products, we're talking about like the customer's experience and the results that they get with their products, or if we're talking about the wellness advocates on our end and the impact that the business is able to make in our families' lives. The goal is that we're making ripples. And I will just say, from our 8-9 years with doTERRA, that's been our experience. Like time and time again, we hear all these positive results on many levels. And so I'm just gonna like be rapid fire clicking through these, because really we could spend like a week
Days.
or more like talking about all the ways that doTERRA's products have impacted people's lives. Like, I mean, an ER nurse off 8+ medications, like people off medications, results proven through study or tests
Labs.
with labs with the doctor. This is one of doTERRA's newest line, and some of the results people are seeing with that, because doTERRA is always innovating and creating new options and even upgrading options that we've had in the past and making them better according to the newest science. So at the end of the day, what drew me to the business was I knew that I already wanted to share the products because they were helping us. So I had already been talking about the products as a health coach, and people would go buy doTERRA from other people, and then they would come back and ask me their questions because they were excited about this new thing they were using and the results they were able to see with it. So anyways, I love this testimony from one of our customers in doTERRA. She says, "I no longer fear illness because I am confident in natural remedies and the resources of having powerful, pure oils at hand. We are able to support our bodies to work the way God made them to." And that's my goal. When I work with a customer, I want them to feel the empowerment that Kyla describes here. And then this is a wellness advocate that's a part of our community, Melissa. And this is the gift. She sums up the gift that we get in return by saying, "A successful doTERRA business for my family means purpose, freedom, financial stability, and a platform that is opening up dreams we didn't know that we could dream."
Yeah.
And just one other example I wanted to share, because Melissa, she has one of the largest teams in our community. I wanted to share a different example of somebody that's newer to their journey. And it honestly was a super successful PA prior to doTERRA. She messaged us one day and said, "I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm grateful that you guys are with me in this, and I'm continuing to build on my income. And it's really exciting to know that I'm able to make money and still be at home with my kids the vast majority of the time. And I'm doing something I really like to do." So I just want to say thanks. You guys are amazing, support and amazing friends, and I love you. Let's get on the horse together for a great holiday season.
Thanks. Yeah, so good.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about how does doTERRA pay us. We're gonna talk a little bit about what is the actual work involved. If I want to choose to partner with doTERRA, what does that look like? We're gonna get into that now. But as you're thinking doTERRA business in your mind, or partnering with doTERRA, whatever the wording is that makes sense to you, we have to think about a different model. It's a business, and it's a residual income business, as opposed to what we're typically used to. You might hear us refer to as hauling buckets. That's something like every time you produce one unit of something, you get paid a unit of money. And to get paid that money again, you need to produce another unit of whatever that is again. So it might be like photography. It might be just like if you're clocking in and out and you're working an hourly rate, you get paid exactly the amount that what you worked, right? So if you get $20 an hour, you work an hour, you get $20, right? doTERRA is different. It's a residual income business model, meaning you do the work one time and you get paid on that work many, many, many times, right? It would be like you're creating a course and you have that course available online, and every time somebody wants to buy it, they're paying you. You're not creating the course a brand new time every time, but every time somebody wants that product, they are purchasing it from you, right? It's very similar. So obviously doTERRA is providing the product, right? They're hauling the buckets for us. But what we're doing is we are educating people on a different way of lifestyle, of healthcare, of taking care of themselves and their family. And then when they get their doTERRA account, every time they're ordering, doTERRA is paying us a percentage of every order for the rest of the customer's life, as long as they're ordering, right? So that's the different mindset. It does take time to build, depending on how much time you have and whatever your goals are. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but it takes time to build a residual income business, but the payout is over the long haul as well. So just to contrast that with what I would call a hauling buckets mentality, this is the typical advice, right? This is what you hear when you're getting ready to go to college, or you're graduating from college or university. You want to go get a good education so you can get a good job, but in that job you're expected to work at least 40 hours a week for 40 years or more, right? And during that time you're supposed to take part of your income, 500, 600, 700, 1,000, 1,500 a month, like you're taking from your income to put into an investment or something, and you're doing that every month for 40 plus years, for the opportunity to retire when you're 65 or 70. And that, I don't know about you guys, but that just never sounded like a winning proposition to me. Education is great, pay is great, work is great, all those things are great. But to spend the best years of your life, so much of the best years of your life being dictated by someone else that doesn't care about your family as much as you do, right? And the reality is this plan actually works for less than 10% of people. They actually stick to this plan for this long and save as much as they're supposed to retire between 65 and 70, less than 10% of the population that actually works for. But the doTERRA route, the doTERRA business plan is very different. You get to determine your own schedule and your own time. You have minimal financial investment, whereas you're socking away 500 to 1,000 a month in your retirement in the other in the other option, but you're earning money while you build this business, right? And you build to the level you desire, and you get to build residual income in as little as a few months or a few years, again, depending on your goals and how much time you have to commit. And this is in a snapshot, the doTERRA, this is how they pay us, the compensation plan. So I know there's a lot on here. I'm not going to go into all of this. We have recordings and other resources that go into the nitty-gritty of how doTERRA pays us. But the things that I want you to know on here are doTERRA knew that if they wanted to create an evergreen long-term business, they had to create a compensation plan that rewarded both the short-term effort, but also provided really significant long-term results, payments to people like us that want to partner with doTERRA for the long haul. And they also wanted to make sure to create a compensation plan that fostered collaboration and unity between their wellness advocates rather than division. And they also knew that it had to be generous. They wanted to build a company that would last and that would create an impact, not be a flash in the pan, right? And so, as you can see on here, these different letters represent ranks, which ultimately is just a term used to determine this, to say what size of business you have. But you can see as you grow in this business, silver is $2,300 a month, gold $5,000 a month, $9,600 a month, $17,000 a month, $38,000 a month, $108,000 a month. And these fluctuate from month to month and all those things. But all I want to say is that they've designed a compensation plan that meets all of those criteria. It's generous, it fosters collaboration, it rewards in the short term, it rewards short-term work while also providing a lot of upside in the long term as well. I remember when I first saw that chart, I was like, this is just a brochure. Why? How do I know this is real? And my first question was, is this actually real? Are people actually getting paid this amount of money? The answer to that question is yes. We've been doing this for about 9 years now. This is an actual chart of our family's revenue from doTERRA over those 9 years. But what is really significant to me is last year, 2022, doTERRA paid our team collectively over $1 million in commissions in 2022, which just like makes me so happy. And it's just the most amazing thing. Several hundreds on our team are getting the products that they're ordering from doTERRA. They're getting those completely paid for every month. Many dozens of people on our team are supplementing their family budget between $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month. And then there's a handful of us that have completely replaced our paycheck from former jobs, which I think is also amazing. But for us, it's not just about the money. I think you know that about us, but it's about the opportunity and the freedom to raise a thriving and connected family, the freedom to prioritize the things that are actually really important to us, and also to create an impact in the world, in our community. And so there's so many business benefits with doTERRA. Like retention is great. I haven't even talked about that yet. Retention is amazing because customers are getting value in the product. They're wanting to continue ordering, right? There's low startup cost. It's scalable to the amount that you want to scale it. There's tax advantages. There's community. Like, look at these people. And then Kristen's going to share just briefly on what the actual work is like.
Yeah, a lot of times we get the question, but like, what do you actually spend your time on?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, like the core foundation of what we spend our time doing is we are creative, but looking for ways to add value to people's lives by solving problems that they have. And so that might come through education, sharing samples, having events where people can learn through community, whether it's online or in person. There's lots of different ways that can look. But I will say that our community, we try to do things as much as possible with systems in place. And so that means that like, because we've been doing this for so long, we've tried lots of things, and we've been able to like hone in on what actually works best. And we found ways to maximize the collective of our community in doing things like collaborative classes and systemized ways to educate and equip other people. And so it makes the work easier for you because of the systems that are in place. And we just wanted to make sure to mention that doTERRA, they're evolving with their products, yes, but they also are looking for ways to evolve as a business. And one of the newest things that they've come out with is they now have the option for you to partner with doTERRA as an affiliate, which is slightly different than a wellness advocate. Essentially, you are able to earn residual income, but you're not going to build a team. So the pay structure is slightly different. And for some people, this could be the appropriate fit for them, depending on the person. But that's something that we can talk through with you individually and make sure we're giving you the best option. So again, these are just like countless pictures from people on our team that have been successful with doTERRA, have seen different rank advancements because of the collaboration and the way that we're able to work together. And then also in that, they're able to shine their own brilliance and maximize their time with the ways they can move forward their businesses as well.
So ultimately, I mean, this is a no-brainer to us. I know every situation is unique. Everyone is in a different place. But the question that we want to ask is, what kind of doTERRA business do you want to build? Because that's honestly our approach as business partners, as mentors, is really we're looking for people who want to do something different. They want to build a business. They want to share. They want to help themselves and their family heal and share those healing products with other people. And then we want to know who you are, and then we want to find out what your goals are, and then we want to help you succeed at those goals, right? We're in this together. This is a team. And so kind of the first level would be that elite premier area, and I would put affiliate in there as well. That's where you're paying for your product. Maybe you're making a little bit more than paying for your product every month. And that's helping a few people a month. Or maybe you are wanting to supplement your income in a significant way. And that would be like you're starting to grow a team. And then the third avenue would be if you're wanting to completely replace your income and you're wanting to, or maybe multiply your income, then that's an option as well. And you can see kind of what the typical advice for each of those categories is. But honestly, what we really want is to hear from you. So when you're done with this, please connect with the person that shared this meeting with you. And just let them know what was interesting to you. When you're ready to get started, we can craft a launch plan specifically for you with you. We do this together. And if you don't have the products yet, please at least get the products. Again, the person that shared this with you can help you do that as well.